My name is Edwin J. White. My father was freeborn Green White, and my son in this line of descent was Resco Manton White. I was born on March 21, 1830, in Cattaraugus County, New York. When I was 25 years old, I married Lydia Marie Spangenberg on July 22, 1855 in Berrien County, Michigan. Lydia was born on July 18, 1835, in Summit County, Ohio. Lydia had just turned 20 a few days before we were married. We lived near my parents, Freeborn and Amanda White, for more than 5 years until sometime after 1860. After 1860, our family took a covered wagon and toured the country looking for a good place to live. Lydia and I had 5 children. The first child was Ermina Adela, who everyone called Minnie. The second was Resco Manton White, who is the ancestor of most of those who are watching this video. Third was freeborn Green White II, who everyone called Freed. Fourth was Fremont Grant White. And the last and fifth child was Birdie Luella, who everyone called Bird. The first 4 children, Minnie, Resco, Freed and Fremont, were born in Michigan. Bird was born in Iowa. Some say I was an intellectual but did not make much use of my God-given gift. I was self-educated in law and politics. I wrote a book, but to my bitter disappointment, I was unable to get it published for lack of money, and it was later destroyed. My father was a justice of the peace in Michigan, and I served a while as circuit judge there. I guess I was a restless man, always looking for something new. Lydia and I, with our children, spent some time roaming the country in a covered wagon. Lydia, Minnie, Fremont and I rode in the wagon, while Resco and Freed walked behind with the cow that was tied to the wagon. Resco and Freed slept under the stars or under the wagon, and, when it rained, they got wet as rats, according to Resco. In 1868, Lydia and I purchased some land in Morristown Township, Minnesota. We sold the land in Morristown Township in 1871 and moved to Webster County, Iowa. Bird was born in Allamakee County, Iowa in 1871. Resco and Freed purchased land north of Morristown, Minnesota in 1891. We also had a 5-acre tract of land north of Morristown where we lived until my death in 1901. I went to the gold rush in California hoping to find gold, but came back to Morristown empty-handed. Lydia and I were both strong-willed and opinionated, and we had many heated arguments. My grandson, Jesse, later said you could hear Lydia and I arguing from a mile away. I died on November 14, 1901 in Morristown, Minnesota, and Lydia died on March 28, 1931, in St. Peter, Minnesota. She lived almost 30 years longer than me. Lydia was a very courageous woman. At the age of 70, she took a homesteading claim at Daglum, North Dakota, and, after living on 160 acres of land for 3 years, it was hers. She lived in North Dakota until the death of her daughter-in-law. After that she lived with our son, Resco, in Faribault. In her later years, it became impossible for Resco to care of her, and she was taken to the infirmary in St. Peter, Minnesota, where she died in March of 1931.